Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Professor Vicki Wenzel, and I will be teaching your medical terminology course this summer. It's an online course. The numbers for it are Nursing 1910 or HHP 1910. So I'll be teaching that. The course starts on June 5th. Yes, starts on June 5th and ends on July 29th. Okay, so June 5th, Monday, that's when everything will open up for you. I do have an office on campus. I have an office in Burt Hall, which is right close to the Weary Center, in case you're not sure where Burt Hall is. My office number is 216, and then my office phone number is 402-465-2548. My cell phone number is 402-310-4673. So you can try my office number, but probably this summer you won't find me there. Okay? If you need to email me, my email address is vwenzel@nebraskawesleyan.edu, and it's just like your Nebraska Wesleyan. It's NEBR Wesleyan. Okay? Probably the best way to get a hold of me this summer is by text or email. I check my email a couple times a day, and of course my phone is usually always with me, so I will check my text a couple times a day or more whenever I hear the little beep go off that I've got a text or an email, and I'll try to get right back to you as soon as I can. Okay, if you want to call me because it's a dire emergency, please feel free to call. Okay. If I don't know your number, I'm probably not going to answer it, so leave me a detailed message and I'll call you right back after I hear the message. Make sure you leave me your name, your telephone number, and kind of what the problem is or what you're calling for. That way I'll be able to figure it out before I call you if I have to. Okay? So, we just talked a little bit. We're going to go over your syllabus, and it's a very small syllabus. It looks like this. Okay? And we're going to go over that right now. I'm going to read most of it through you. Some of the stuff is the same as it is in every class you take, so we're not going to worry about all of it, but we're going to worry about most of it, okay? It does say under email communication or virtual office hours to please contact faculty either by email or phone, and that all email or phone messages will be returned within 48 hours, Monday through Friday. If you haven't received a response in 48 hours, please email me or call me again, because I might have missed it. I hope I don't, but I just might have, and I hope it doesn't happen, but it might. Or resend your message. You can post any questions or comments that you have relevant to the rest of the class in the discussion thread labeled Student Lounge. On the discussion board, there will be a Student Lounge thread where you can post anything that you think is pertinent to the course so that everybody else can see it, and then I'll answer it, or maybe one of your fellow students knows it and they can answer it. Either way, we'll figure it out and get it done, okay? The only exception to the rule is anything left after 3 p.m. Friday may not be answered until the following Monday. Hopefully I'll get back to you before that, but just so you know that if it's not there till Monday, that there was a reason for that, okay? So, online course, there's no classroom meetings. You can log into the course anytime you want to. It goes with whatever you've got time for. I know you're all busy, you're working, you're going to school, you're studying, you probably got families and kids and whatever at home. So, log in anytime that works for you, okay? Note that the class day will not open till Monday morning, like at 00001. So you'll have, and it'll close Sunday night at 23:59. So you'll have a whole week to get all your stuff done. Okay? You'll also have a calendar ahead of time that you can print out, so you'll know kind of what's coming. Okay? The session is summer of 2017. It is a one theory credit hour, which is 15 contact hours. Okay? There are no prerequisites to this. Okay? So, course description. Through the study of medical terminology, the student will be introduced to the language of healthcare professionals. It's a whole new language, something you've probably not ever heard before if you're not been in the healthcare field. If you've been a CNA or anything like that, it'll be easier for you. Students will gain an understanding of basic elements, rules of building and analyzing medical words and medical terms associated with the body as a whole. Utilizing a systems approach, the student will define, interpret, and pronounce medical terms relating to structure and functions, pathology, diagnosis, clinical procedures, oncology, and pharmacology. In addition to medical terms, common abbreviations applicable to each system will be interpreted. Please learn your terms. It will only help you as we get going through the next 3 years of your study time. Okay, so this is just kind of a startup of things you're going to have to know. Okay. Health and Human Performance Program outcomes. Foster the development of excellence in students through teaching, application of critical thinking, understanding of theoretical and practical science, and service in the area of health, medicine, physical activity, movement behavior, and sports management. Okay? The department utilizes programs in athletic training, exercise science, health and fitness studies, health and physical education pedagogy, sports management, and coaching to achieve this outcome. Okay? And that's for Health and Human Performance Program outcomes. So there are 2 different types of students that we'll have in here. They're the HHP students and the nursing students. And sometimes nursing students and HHP students are all the same thing. Okay? Health and Human Performance course objectives will be accomplished through readings, lecture, practice, quizzes, worksheets, class participation. At the conclusion of this course, students should be able to do all of these course outcomes that we mentioned before. Okay? Nursing BSN program outcomes. The course will address the following BSN program outcomes: function as a baccalaureate generalist practitioner in translating, integrating, and applying concepts and knowledge from liberal education, including the humanities, behavioral, computational, and natural sciences for nursing care across the lifespan and within the continuum of healthcare environments. Okay? The medical terminology course objectives, and these will apply to both the HHP and the nursing program. At the end of this course, students will be able to describe a professional vocabulary of medical words from Greek and Latin prefixes, suffixes, and root words. Define medical words correctly and verify the definition in a medical dictionary. Apply use of correct form and pronunciation of medical words. Demonstrate the understanding of medical abbreviations. Identify anatomical, pathological, and surgical terminology as related to the body system. Okay? So that's what we're going to do. Our textbook looks like this. It's a medical terminology textbook. I think that'll come up right on your computer. Okay? There is a lot of good stuff in here. There is also an online part to this. Please, please, please get onto your online stuff and look at it, because some of the things that we're going to talk about will be in the online piece. Okay? So you have to have this book. You cannot get by without having this book. And fortunately, this book will be very helpful in when you go through the rest of your courses. If you get stuck, it'll kind of be like a little dictionary that can help you. So it's a good book to have. Okay? The online is called G-W Online. It includes your audio glossary, crosswords, puzzles, matching exercises, and interactive flashcards. So you want to make sure that you can get that done. Okay? Okay. Computer requirements. You can have either a PC or a Mac. Okay? And you'll need Microsoft Word for both of them. I do not accept any pages or papers that you send in that I can't open, and I have an HP, or a PC I should say. It's an HP PC. I have one of those, so if you have a Mac and you save your papers in like Mac pages, I can't open them on my computer. So I will not accept them, and you won't get a very good grade for your course, or for at least that assignment. So you have access to Microsoft Office 365, whether you're a Mac user or a PC user. Please download those and use those for all of your work for me, okay? Let's see. Okay, Google Chrome and or Firefox are the preferred browsers that you want to use, so download those if you don't have them. You can get both of them free, and one of them, Google Chrome, is at www.googlechrome.com, and Firefox is at www.firefox.com. So use those, and Blackboard systems work better with those two than they do with Internet Explorer. Okay? Okay, some of them will give you, I just had problems with my PC, and the computer guy came over and I was using Google Chrome, and he said, you know, sometimes Google Chrome does a really good job and sometimes Firefox does a better job at some things, so you kind of have to go back and forth to see which one works best for you, and if something doesn't work in one internet browser, try the other one. So I would suggest that you download both of those and use them. Okay. There are suggested additional texts or supplemental sources in your syllabus here, so look at those. Okay. They're all very good sources. There are different additional medical terminology flashcards. Look at those. Those will give you some places to go if you're having problems or you just want something to study with. So course objectives, you're going to describe professional vocabulary of medical words from Greek and Latin prefixes, suffixes, and word roots. Okay. You're going to define medical words correctly. You're going to apply use of correct form and pronunciation of the medical words. So that's where you want to get into the GW online on here and use the glossary, the audio glossary. If you can't say something, the correct pronunciation, this will help you. Okay. Demonstrate understanding of medical abbreviations, because there are a lot of them. Identify anatomical, pathological, and surgical terminology as related to the body's systems. There will be a lot of stuff on your Blackboard weekly content that will help you also, but your reading in your book is going to be real important too. And you're doing everything that you are supposed to do. Okay? Nebraska Wesleyan has a commitment to students with disabilities. I will let you read that. Okay? But if you have any issues or you have any questions, Professor Sandy McBride at the Services for Students with Disability Coordinators can help you with that. And her number is right here in your syllabus. So use that. Title 10 information is also in here. We want this to be a safe learning environment, both when you're on campus and when you're in the classroom, and you're not going to have to do that with this course, but you might with others. So if you see anything that makes you think there's something going on, there's some abuse, or there's some bullying, or there's anything like that, please let me know. Or in your syllabus, there are some confidential resource places that you can call to complain or to put in a report or any of those things. Please, please, please don't let anything go. If you see something that doesn't look right, please let somebody know. That's very important. Okay? Statement of academic integrity. This is really important, and this is going to follow you through all of your college and even past your college. So what this is saying is it's a basic principle of our university community and of any university you go to. It's not just Wesleyan, it's everybody. Okay? We expect the highest standards of academic honesty from all students. So no cheating on papers, no copying other people's work, no plagiarism, none of that stuff. Okay? The Student Code of Conduct states that cheating, plagiarism, or other forms of academic dishonesty are subject to disciplinary action. And there is a Student Code of Conduct. For additional information, I want you to get that out and look at it when you have time, okay? And I would do it before the class starts because that'll be easier for you. So, students who fail to properly cite an author or plagiarize will receive a grade of an F for the assignments. Okay, students who work together on assignment designated individual work will receive a grade of F for the assignments. So anytime I suspect there's plagiarism, what I will probably do is get a hold of you and ask you to tell me where you got your information, and then we'll go from there on if we're going to accept the assignment or not. So try not to do any plagiarism. If you have any questions about that, please call me, please ask. Okay. Student assignment submissions, they are all to be electronic of written assignments. You may not send me a written assignment. I will not accept written assignments. Electronic versions of papers and presentations will be stored for 3 years, and then they'll be destroyed, so that'll get you through college. Okay. Nursing program accreditation visitors may review students' work. So sometimes when we have to be accredited, and they come back like every 3 or 4 years, I don't know exactly what it is, they are going to want to look at papers so that we can maintain our accreditation. Are we teaching you right? Are you handing in the right kind of papers? That kind of stuff. So they may be opened by somebody from there. And I put in here, if you use a Mac computer, please do not save your pages in paper format. I cannot open them on my computer. You must use Word for Mac, which is available to you through Office 365. I will not accept any papers that I cannot open at all. You will just get it. It'll just be a 0 on that paper. If I can't get it open, I will send you a little text or a little email that says I couldn't open your paper. I'm sorry. So no pages format. Okay. Electronic communication. Students are expected to have access to a computer and check their Nebraska Wesleyan email on a regular basis. I send out all my email on a regular basis to you. Any announcements I have, any email I have, any kind of communication, you have to check your email. And I would do it more than just once a week. I would do it daily if you have the chance to do it. If not daily, every other day. Okay? The university cannot incorporate your personal at-home email account, so you have to use your Nebraska Wesleyan account. That's the only one I'm going to send email to, is your Nebraska Wesleyan account. When group emails are sent advising students of changes in the course plans, these emails are sent only to Nebraska Wesleyan email accounts, so that's also where I will do that. Students are accountable for reading these emails. Please remember that your Nebraska Wesleyan email is easily accessible from a home computer through the NWU web pages. If you don't have a home computer, you can access computers at Nebraska Wesleyan. We have computers all over campus. Assignments made using Blackboard can be completed on a computer here at Wesleyan. If you have any questions about that, please ask. I will tell you. But you cannot use the example of my paper was late because I didn't have a computer, or my computer broke and it was in the shop. If it's in the shop, you need to come to campus and you need to get it done. You need to borrow somebody else's computer. Go to the library. The Lincoln City Libraries has all kinds of computers you can use, and we do too. So having your computer broken, or the kids broke it, or the dog chewed on it, or whatever, none of those assignments are going to be counted as, they will be counted as late because you have access to Wesleyan computers, okay? You'll be required to access Blackboard announcements, general information, course documents, assignments, etc. that will be posted here, and students are responsible for this information. So it is your total responsibility, okay? Also, our library here on the college has an online database that is full of text options to assist you in your ability to find date publications. Please be aware that there are 3 databases that you need to assess before requesting interlibrary loan. So if you want an interlibrary loan for something you've found, you have got to get into the Wesleyan Online College library and see if you can find it there first, okay? Sonal plus Medline, Academic and Search Premier, okay? So most of anything you want can be found on these things, and if you haven't checked out these 3 and you have an intercampus, interlibrary loan that you want, they probably won't give it to you until you've looked at all 3 of these first, okay? Now we're going to get into course requirements. Let me have a little drink here. Okay. All written assignments are to be typed, double-spaced, and proofread prior to admission. They must all be done in Word format. Do not send me a PDF document because I can't open them. I can open them and I can read them, but I can't make comments on them. So no PDF documents. It all has to be Word. Okay? There are specific guidelines for each written assignment. Written assignments must follow APA guidelines. And if you don't know what APA guidelines are, please look at the, you should have gotten an APA book that looks like, it's for all students, but it looks like this. Please get yourself one of these books. Also, there is an online program that you can download to help you with APA. And if you don't want to do that, I think it's like $35 a month or something, or a year, or a one-time thing, I think. It's not a year, it's not a month, it's a one-time thing. Get that. And then if none of those two options are available to you, please use Purdue OWL, and it's PURDUEOWL. It will help you with all the APA, and it's kept up to date. So use that, okay? The APA guidelines are very important, and you lose points if you don't do the APA guidelines appropriately, okay? No paper copies, which I've already told you will not be accepted. Late work. Assignments turned in after the due date will receive a deduction of 5% per day, okay? So if you're 2 days late with an assignment, you'll have a 10% deduction, okay? This does not include discussion board postings and responses. We'll get to that in a little bit, okay? The course assessment, this is your grading scale for Nebraska Wesleyan. It's the same one we use for all of our nursing courses, so you might want to look at that and see where you want to be, okay? Makeup tests, exams, or quizzes. If a student takes a test outside of the scheduled time, this will be considered a makeup test, okay? So if we have a test scheduled, which I usually don't open up the test till Wednesday, and say you're going out of town on Wednesday and you'll be gone till Sunday because maybe there's a funeral or something in your family and you'd like to take the test early, you can do that as long as you let me know, but it is not going to be set up for you that way, so you have to talk to me about it. The test has to be made up within 1 week of the original scheduled time. Failure to do so will result in a 0 for that test. So if you know you're going to go out of town and you have an exam and you want me to set it up early, I can, or we can do it when you get back as long as it's within the 1 week time period, okay? You can miss one test without a penalty as long as the test is made up. If the student misses any more than that one test, the test may be made up, but the maximum score allowed will be 80%. So even if you get 100% on it because it's the second time you've missed a test, the only thing you can get on it is an 80. And if you get a 72% on the test, well, then you'll get a 72% on the test. Any further makeup tests are a maximum 50%. So I wouldn't miss any tests unless you absolutely have to, okay? The next thing on our syllabus is the student assessment and grades that will be based on the following learning activities. So you'll have some discussion thread participation. There will be 4 of those. Those are each worth 25%. You'll have 3 quizzes. Those are 30% of your grade, of your total grade. Your interactive activities will be 20% of your grade. And then you have a comprehensive final exam, which covers everything we've done in the last 8 weeks. That's 25% of your exam. So that's 100% of your grade, okay? Now we're going to talk a little bit about the discussion thread participation, and there are 4 discussion threads, which we just talked about. Every other week you will be held accountable to answer a discussion thread question. Initial discussion posts are due on Wednesday by 11:59 Central Time, and a response to at least 2 other people are due by Sunday at 11:59 Central Time. The discussion board posting will be disabled after Sunday at 11:59. For each time you've done them. Credit will only be given to posts submitted prior to the deadline. So if you submit your discussion post at Monday morning at 00:30, you've now missed the deadline, and it will not be graded. It will get a 0 for you. Okay, it won't even be considered. So I suggest when you do your discussion posts, you do them a little earlier. Don't wait till the last minute. I've had students turn papers in, discussion posts at Wednesday night, like they finally get it submitted at 11:30 at night. And then their discussion posts are very poor and they don't follow the rubric. So you're going to want to make sure you get this started a little bit early, answer the questions, and make sure you make it a good quality answer to the discussion question. And you'll understand more of that when we get into it, okay? It is expected that students actively participate in the discussion forums. Each student is expected to read all the discussion posts of their group, contribute 1 initial discussion post weekly, and contribute participation discussion responses to at least 2 other student posts in their group. You can respond to more than 1 initial discussion post or 2 participations. You can do more. The 1 initial post and then the 2 participations, that's the very minimum that you can do, okay? You may not do all of your discussion posts on the same day. I would like to see 2 to 3 to 4 different days of you doing discussion posts. So don't get in there on Wednesday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and write your initial discussion and then go do 2 participant discussions, 2 other people that have already written. You cannot do them all on the same day. They have to be done on different days. Okay? Active discussion participation in discussion threads are worth 25% of your overall grade. So, and we just looked over the discussion thread rubric, which we haven't looked at that yet, but we're going to very shortly. Okay? Quizzes, again, are worth 30% of your overall grade. The comprehensive final, which will be the last week of class, is going to be worth 25% of your grade. And like I said earlier, this exam includes the entire course. So get to know your words, get to know what they mean, get to know how to figure out what they mean, and then go from there. Okay? Quizzes and comprehensive final exams are open book and open note and are to be an individual effort. You may not work on them with a fellow student. You may not work on them with your boyfriend that's a doctor or your girlfriend that's a PA or a nurse practitioner. You have to do them alone. All quizzes and exam questions will be based on material in the textbook. The interactive activities are brief, independent activities worth 20%, and they're a good way to engage students' attention and give them a chance to experience a different teaching learning style. These include case studies, listening to audio sounds, uploading your own audio sounds, animations, games, worksheets, simulations. Okay? So, and these are your own they're your own thing too, unless we tell you that you can work with somebody else. Okay. The online format is a little different in case nobody's ever taken an online class, but they're pretty popular nowadays, so I'm betting most of you have. If you're unable to log on to your course, or if you have any other questions, please contact faculty by either email or phone as soon as possible. Please contact me if you can't get onto your course, or if there's not something there and you were expecting it to be there, because a lot of times I can fix it with just a couple little movements of the mouse and clicks and stuff, okay? I'll respond to your email as soon as possible, and we already talked about it within 48 hours. So, if you have a initial discussion question that's due Wednesday at 23:59, Wednesday night, and Wednesday at 7 o'clock at night, you get in there for the first time and you can't open up your discussion question, what are we going to do now? Because I might take 48 hours to get back to you. Hopefully I won't, but I might. So please log in early, make sure you can get into what you want to see, okay, and what you want to do. Okay. If you have an individual concern, I will address that individually. Anything that affects the whole class can use the discussion board posting under the, I think it was a student lounge or nursing lounge is what we called it. Okay. Discussion posting instructors, I probably will not respond to every post, but then again I might. It's not a very big class this summer, so we'll see how that goes. I will read everything, and I will offer some constructive responses as appropriate. Check your email account again for the announcements forum daily to ensure that you're not missing pertinent information. Please read through postings before contacting faculty with questions. You may find the answer you may need from other students' postings. You are required to return within 24 hours to review instructor feedback. So if you leave me a question, you have to come back within 24 hours to see what I wrote you. Okay? Okay. So, some guidelines for netiquette is what they call etiquette on the computer. You need to be respectful in your posts and comments to others and about others. Make sure your postings meet the required discussion thread or evaluation rubric. Postings should be professional and scholarly. You need to stay on topic. So don't be talking about ear exams, and then all of a sudden you're off talking about this lady you saw at the grocery store that was putting things in her pocket. That's being off of the content, and it's probably not the right place to discuss it here in our class on the discussion board. So stay on topic. Humor is often misinterpreted online, so it is best to keep humor to a minimum and definitely avoid sarcasm because you can't always tell you're being sarcastic on the internet. Avoid the use of texting abbreviations, so don't do the LOL or I can't think of anything right off the bat, but don't use texting abbreviations. Please do not use all capitals in discussion, as this is considered yelling online. It's hard to read, and it really makes you feel bad when you see somebody has used capitals all through the thing. The exception to this would be abbreviations such as RN or USA. Okay. So, getting started, now is a good time to carefully read and review the course syllabus and the course schedule on Blackboard. And we're looking over the syllabus. We're going to look over the course schedule here in just a few minutes. You should also explore the content in week 1 of the course. If you have any questions or technical problems, please contact me first. And if you can't get a hold of me, then call the CSIT helpline. Okay? Again, ask your faculty any questions about the course to the discussion forum so that other people can see them. Your faculty member, that's me of course, will respond to your post so the entire class can benefit from the questions and answers. If you know the answer to a particular question, please post a response. If you have questions of a personal nature, please email the faculty. If it's a personal nature, don't put it on the internet, on the discussion board for everybody else to see. That could be between me and you. Okay? Some successful tips. It's impossible to pass without the textbook, so please get the textbook, okay? And this is it must just be just one. There must not be any additions because I don't see like second edition or anything, so it must just be Medical Terminology, Mastering the Basics by DeStefano and Fetterman. So that's what you want, okay? You have to be a self-directed learner. I'm not going to sit at my computer every day and write you an email. You guys, this is due, this is due, this is due. That's what the syllabus is for. It's what your course calendar is for. It's what your Blackboard is for. It's what your course content is for. All of that stuff will help you. Plan to spend several hours studying each chapter. Pronunciation. Sometimes medical terms are hard or they don't pronounce quite like they're looked at. So pronounce the word aloud while you are studying. This allows you to focus on each syllable, assist in spelling as well as prepare you to speak the language of medicine when on the job. Working with a partner or group is best for feedback, or record yourself and listen. The comprehensive final exam includes a section in which you will be asked to pronounce a pre-established list of words. Okay, so I'm going to be listening to those. Making medical terminology flashcards is an excellent learning activity. Completing the progress check at the end of each chapter and the practice quizzes are excellent methods of studying for the quizzes and final exams. Use the medical dictionary links to enrich your vocabulary for greater understanding and the meanings and use of medical terms. Look up each new word or word part. See what language it comes from and how it is pronounced. Look further down or up the list and see what other words there are, what words is used in these examples. Stress reduction, that's a big thing when you're going to college. When taking tests, always study several times and over several days before taking the test. You cannot cram for nursing exams. Just like when it gets time to take your NCLEX or your boards at the end of your schooling, you cannot cram for them. You have to learn as you go. Overnight cramming procedures produces confusion, anxiety, and poor learning. If you have test anxiety, learn relaxation techniques to calm yourself so that you can perform at your best. Make sure you are well nourished and rested. Take a walk, do other physical activities to release some anxiety. Come to the online class and participate. Be active in taking notes and asking questions. Study shows that successful performance is directly correlated to a good attendance and participation in class sessions. In your course content every week, there will be some videos for you to watch. They're not just there for you to watch and halfway listen to. Take notes because it's all going to be, you're going to find some of that stuff on your tests, okay? Create a good study space environment just right for you. If your home does not provide this, seek out a library, study room, or other quiet place. Create a good online community environment. Get to know your new friends because you'll make lots of friends in this course and you'll meet them again as you go through your courses here at Wesleyan. Have someone quiz you on your notes and start a group or find a virtual study partner. Study with someone else regularly, quiz each other, share notes. Synergism works with people, and the group can inspire individuals to accommodate achievements and build your confidence. I always had my best luck studying when there were a group of us getting together and asking questions, and now with the internet and with Hang-Ups, you can do that with online all the time. So get yourself a study partner, okay? Print a copy of the syllabus, which includes the course calendar to have nearby as you work on the courses. Each week begins on a Monday and ends on a Sunday. So your weekly courses will open up on Monday morning at 0001. Okay, so when you wake up in the morning on Monday, or if you work an evening shift and you get home at 12:30 at night, your course should be open for you. Okay. Complete the readings and post in the discussion each week. Discussion works best when you post early by Wednesday and often at least twice a week or more. Okay. Have fun. Find ways to make learning enjoyable to you and your group. Celebrate your small successes. Reward yourself with a job well done. Okay. Now we're going to talk about the online discussion evaluation rubric. So your online discussion threads, which are in you have, I think we said 4 of them. Okay. They are due by Wednesday night at 11:59, okay, Central Time, and a response to at least 2 other people are by Sunday. The discussion board will be disabled after Sunday night at 11:59. So if you haven't submitted your stuff by Sunday at 11:59, it won't take it for you, and you will not get credit for it. You'll only get credit if you've submitted prior to this deadline. It is expected that students actively participate in the discussion forum. Each student is expected to read all the discussion posts of the group, contribute 1 initial response discussion per weekly, and contribute to participation discussion responses to at least 2 other students' posts in the group. We'll wait till my clock gets done dinging. Okay. You may not make all your posts on the same day. Sorry, I thought we were done. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, remember your discussion thread is worth 25% of your overall grade, so you'll want to get as much out of that as you can. And we're going to talk about the rubric that's below. And we have a brand new rubric in your syllabus that we're going to try out for the summer session. We've already tried it on one of the sessions last year, and it worked really well. So if you look at this online rubric, it is expected that students, and it says the same thing we've already talked about, it is expected that students actively participate in the discussion forums. Each student is expected to read all weekly discussion posts. The initial posts and required responses are specified by the instructor in the syllabus. Okay, so we've gone over some of that stuff. So what we're going to do, and it should look like this. Okay, that's your discussion rubric. So your initial response thoroughly addresses all parts of the discussion. You can get 20 points for that, or you can get 15, or you can whatever, okay? Whatever I decide that you've done, if you've done a good job on this, you'll get your 20 points, okay? Initial response is clear and concisely stated, okay? These are just different ways you can do it. Or the initial response demonstrates that the content was appropriately reviewed, understood, and synthesized. There's 20 points for that. And did we have evidence of critical thinking and creativity? So when you're doing your discussion, make sure that you do not, absolutely do not, just copy out of the book and write in what you see from the book. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know that you read what you read in the book or wherever you went to get your information and you understand it. So it needs to be in your own words. You need to think creatively and critically think of how you're answering the question. Okay? And then it goes down to responses to 2 classmates. So you offer a critical analysis of an existing posted idea and indicate agreement or disagreement, or introduce a different interpretation of an existing idea. And then you have to provide adequate justification. So if Sammy over here says to me, well, I don't believe that piercing your ears is the right thing to do, I can say, I think it does. And then I can stop and get very few points for that. Or I can find a little research article that says, this is what piercing your ears does for you. Yes, there's a little bit of a risk for infection, but it might make you feel better. It might make your daughter, who's wanting her ears pierced, all her friends have it pierced. As long as I've got some research and justification for this, or I could say, I'm not sure why we're discussing piercing the ears when we should be more in tune as to if the person can hear or not. So that's just kind of an example of how you want to do it. But you want to agree or disagree with the person, that's okay. But make sure you have a justification of why you're agreeing and disagreeing and where you got your information. Just don't pick it up off the top of your head. Okay, I want to know why you think that this is right or this is wrong. And I also, if you have a different thought on the whole thing, then let's figure out why you've got a different thought. Where'd you get it from? Figure out where your research is on that, okay? Posting timeliness is number 3. And the posting has to be done by the due date. So Wednesday night at 23:59 and then Sunday night at 23:59. But remember that posting on Sunday night at 00:15 will get you no points, okay? APA, this is a big one down here. You get 10 points for it. So you have to, Blackboard does not do perfect APA. Like when you make your reference list, the very first line of your reference should be out and the rest of it's indented. Blackboard does not always let you do that. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. And I know that, so there are some things I won't take points off for. But when you're doing the reference list, like one of the things that the students miss a lot is when they do their reference list, and they put the title of the article. Well, if you go by your APA, the title of the article, the first word of the title is the only thing that's capitalized. Everything else is in small letters. Okay? And students miss that a lot. So you want to know that you're getting your reference list right. You want to know that you're citing everything you do. If you have a reference at the bottom of your discussion, you should have a citation in your discussion. If you have a citation in your discussion, you need a reference in the reference list. The two of them go hand in hand. They are not separate. You cannot have one without the other. Okay, so you have to have those. And you cannot write something out of a book or something you got from your book without referencing it. Okay? You have to use 12-point font. That is APA. Your grammar and spelling have to be appropriate for college-level scholarly writing. So if you're writing away and you want to write, we did not go to their house, and you spell there T-H-E-R-E, it should be T-H-E-I-R. So make sure you've got the right there, the right to, the right whatever those words are. Word does not pick up those kind of words because they're spelled right. They're just the wrong usage of them, and you will miss points for that too. You need complete sentences. You need to be well organized. You need to have a neat appearance. Okay? It also needs to be in Times New Roman. Times New Roman. If you write it on, I'm not sure Blackboard does that, but if you write it in a Word document and then copy and paste it, it should be in Times New Roman. And then you can have 100 points for this, okay? So, this is very important. I want you to look it over very carefully and make sure when you get to your discussion that you're following this along with everything else, okay? The next thing we're going to talk about is your calendar, and that should be at the end of your thing. It looks like this, okay? What you're going to see on here, your course schedule every week is made up of 1 to 3 chapters in your book, and I do expect you to read those chapters, okay? You're going to have work to do, so you're going to want to complete each week in the week it's open. Next week will not open early for you, so take your time, get this week done, read each chapter, study the terms by doing the exercises provided in the text and the accompanying textbook software. So go to your GW Online again. That's kind of off the top of my head. 4 quizzes you will complete online to gauge your progress, and this includes your final exam also. Now, so on week 1, which will open up June 5th, okay, you'll have an orientation to Intro to Medical Terminology. You're also going to talk about this is one of those systems that's hard to pronounce. Integumentary is how you pronounce this word, integumentary system, and special sensory organs like the ears and the eyes, okay? So you're going to read your course syllabus. There is a syllabus movie which you are watching right now. That's what I want you to do before you even get started. Review all your Blackboard site tabs. course information, and familiarize yourself with the site. Okay? There are PowerPoints to watch in your weekly content, so watch your PowerPoints. Complete chapters 1, 2, and 6. Complete the learning exercises found under week 1. And there is a discussion forum this very first week. And this week, there are actually 2 discussion forums. One of them is an introduction, which you won't be graded on. And the other one is a forum that you will be graded on. So please make sure and do the introduction, okay? Because that's part of your class participation, so that will get graded there. Not that it'll be a big grade, but okay? And it just talks to you a little bit about it. Now, if you go down to week 2, starts on June 12th. You have your first quiz on June 12th, and that will open on 6/14, okay? That's a Wednesday. So you have to have it done by Sunday at 11:59 p.m., okay? And then week 3, same things. You'll have actually a discussion forum and an interactive activity. And then week 4, you get your second quiz, and that is over chapters 5, 7, 9, and 11. So you're going to not just have 1 or 2 chapters for a quiz, you're going to have a lot, okay? And then week 5, there are PowerPoints in. There's, I think, PowerPoints in just about every week. You have something to do. Learning exercises, interactive activity, discussion forums, okay? And then week 6, you're going to do chapters 8 and 12. There are some learning exercises. You're going to review PowerPoints, discussion forum. Week 7, you're going to get quiz 3 in week 7, okay? Chapters 8, 12, and 10. Okay, and then there's a final exam review. After you're done with quiz 3, then I want you to start reviewing for the final exam. Okay, and then on week 8, you will have your last day of class will be July 28th. Okay, and there will be a comprehensive final exam, which you'll get to do. It's on the Blackboard. There is a complete instructor evaluation that'll be on Blackboard for you to do. There is it's an NPCE, which will open up on 7/27 and close on 7. Well, that's kind of silly. I've got it wrong. It will open up on 7/16 and then close on 7/27. Okay. The final exam, since it's a shorter week and we don't have the next weekend, will open up on Monday of that week, like 7/24, and will stay open until Friday at 11:59 for you. Okay. And I think that is all. So I hope this was helpful. Please feel free to call me, to text me if you have any questions. I know this will be new for some of you. And hopefully this film helped. And we'll go from there. On the last week, I think it's week 8, I put a whole bunch of, on your course content, I put a whole bunch of YouTube videos that go over each system of the body. So go back in and look at those, look through your chapters, do your flashcards. Let me know if you have any questions, and we'll go from there. When I do your discussion rubrics, they will be online, so you will see them. Please read them because I put comments in them to help you with, to understand what you did wrong or why you lost points or what you did right. So it's hard when you're doing discussion forums to get every last single point that you can, but do your best, and I'll grade my best, and we'll go from there. Please let me know if you have any questions, and hopefully things will work out great this summer. Have a great summer.